You really want them back.
Yes, I be with that man. Yes, that man be with me. But are we together? Absolutely not. But can you talk to him? Absolutely not. Do we go together? Absolutely not. Are we together real bad? Absolutely. You know?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Living with the X.
Welcome back to Living with the X. I'm not your ex, I'm the X.
You ain't cute.
Hey. Let's talk about No Jumper.
Rob. You ready?
The dynamic between Adam 22 and Luce Cannon. While a lot of the YouTube world feels like Adam 22 is letting people crash out on his podcast while he rakes in the benefits and adding to that bottom line,
I'm a money mag. I'm a money mag. I'm a money mag. Ching, ching, ching.
he's destroying families. Let's talk about Luce Cannon. He's married, looks like he's doing pretty well, and now he's in a situation where he's in a serious legal battle.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
And when you're in a legal battle, you are not supposed to talk about your case unless it's to your lawyer, possibly your significant other, since he's married. But definitely don't go on a podcast talking about the case.
What kind of shit is that?
And if you are incarcerated, do not use the jailhouse phone because everything is recorded.
Calls are subject to recording and monitoring except privileged attorney-client communications.
To decline this call and block future calls to this number, press 9 now. To accept this call, press 1 now. Your call has been accepted. Thank you for using SUP-NARP Telecommunications. You may begin your call now.
And that could be used against you in the courtroom. Unfortunately for Luce Cannon, he did not get this memo.
What?
Not only is he talking about things that could be used in this RICO case on a podcast, but when he was incarcerated, and I think he's still locked up, please chat, correct me if I'm wrong, if he got released. But while he was locked up, he was calling in on the No Jumper podcast with the jailhouse phone.
Cannon, what's the word? Yo, sweetie. Man, hey, listen, bro, Luce, how's your
Yeah. Yeah. I really, I can't believe that. Like, somebody that is in a club, let's just say that, in a club, or someone that is his age and should know better. Let's just say that. Should know better. Should not be doing these things. And Adam, if he's really your friend, would you let him crash out? Because on some of the episodes when Luce Cannon called in, he literally said all these things that he probably shouldn't be saying in the midst of his case. And some of the other people on the podcast were like, I don't want to see you do this. I don't want to see you crash out. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. And then still, some people just let him go. I think he does have some type of deal with, I think it's Flacco, where he receives some of the money from his streams. But other than that, these other situations, not looking too good. Let's get into it.
Arena of what's free speech and what's libel, that episode was quite a bit closer to libel from their perspective than the average piece of content that might be discussed in this type of thing. Basically, Luce Cannon said some stuff that he basically said that Big U knew that Nipsey was going to get killed before Nipsey got killed. And his evidence for that was claiming that there was a FaceTime call from Big U where he told him that Nipsey got killed before Nipsey got killed, like a
Police, open up!
half hour beforehand. And then he ends up finding that Nipsey actually did get killed. I've yet to see any evidence of this. It would
So
be
this is
kind of hard.
crazy. So Adam is basically saying on the podcast, Luce Cannon tells a story, going into story time.
Months later, 6.5 hours later, 1 eternity later, 2,000 years later.
That he gets a call from Big U, and I guess Big U is working for Miss Cleo. Tell me now for the right tier reading. $5 a minute. Bumbleclaw reading, boy. So Luce Cannon gets this call, and Big U is like, hey, the homie Nipsey, he checked out, he gone. You know, anybody, first thing you do, you gonna call your boy, you gonna like, nah, you tripping. Luce Cannon called Nip. Nip answered the phone. So the way Luce Cannon tells it, he's like, okay, this is bad information. You know, Big U got some faulty information. You know, it wasn't G14 classified. It was womp, womp, womp. So he like thinking nothing of it. Tell bruh you love him. Whoop, that's that. Then he say like 30 minutes later, phone blowing up, Nipsey gone. So either Big U is the Oracle in the Matrix, or say less. Man, let's continue. This crazy. This crazy. But Adam says, you know, he got to see the timestamp. He got to 2 pictures of photo ID held up with his birth certificate stapled to his chest now. Nah, Adam about his business. I ain't gonna lie to you. Adam about his business. People got Adam, I ain't gonna say it, but people got Adam messed up. And I'm gonna wait to the end. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna wait to the end. But people got Adam messed up. And I'm gonna break it down to you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna break it down. We gonna get down to the gnat's eyebrows, okay? You dig? Let's keep it going.
Evidence of this, it would be kind of hard to prove it in general too, because you would have to show me time-stamped video, and even that would it would be hard for me to believe that the timestamp wasn't just wrong, you know? And it's like very hard to believe that Big U, if he was this criminal mastermind, would be so lackadaisical with this criminal plot that he would just be calling people and telling them about this happening before it actually happened. Like, it's just very, very hard for me to believe. And I was never invested in it or anything, but I mean, that's part of the problem with doing a podcast with Wack, is that he one of his big things is, I don't want you to edit the shit that I say. Like,
now that we're done with the prequel, let's listen to Luce Cannon himself. Man. All right.
I'm on a phone. He FaceTime me. So he FaceTime me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6 oh, I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. And I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got? Or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what fucked me up, because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, I could have probably stopped it, or it had it.
Stop what? Fuck you mean? That fuck you talking about?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later.
It's hard for me to believe. No Jumper is all about gangster gossip. This is like the lifetime of gangster movies, but in this case, it's not movies, it's podcasts. And I don't know. I thought I was Generation X, but I'm actually on the cusp of being a millennial. Womp, 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 womp. No offense to millennials. I just gravitate more towards Gen X. Anyways, I digress for a second. The reason why I say this is, if you're a gangster, it's supposed to be a code of silence, right? So I think that would be refraining from telling business on a podcast. But like I said before, Luce Cannon didn't get this memo. And especially saying the content that he's spilling out right now on No Jumper, I feel like going off of being a gangster, it's an oxymoron. Like, what the are you doing? And then some people could say, man, this is some dry snitching, right? So with that said, Luce Cannon, you need to put in your 2 weeks notice because your gang membership is revoked. Like, I'm just saying. And I think I remember Wax saying some stuff like, man, this life not for you. And he seemed like a cool dude, and I have nothing against Luce, but at the same time, like, let's call a spade a spade. Just you speaking on this, all bad. And then okay, I'm not gonna spill the beans. I almost did. I almost dry snitched on myself. All right, man, this loose stuff is contagious. I'm over here snitching on myself. Woo. All right, let's get into it. Man, nope. Jumper.
Wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
People is assuming that I'm saying Big U had something to do with Nipsey getting killed.
Okay, maybe we have more protons, neutrons, and electrons than Luce Cannon, but the way you broke down the call between you and Big U prior to this episode of No Jumper, it sounds like Adam's saying right now that you're backtracking, that you probably got a lot of calls from the homies and they're like, bro, you tripping? Like, what the was you thinking? Like, you crashing out? Woo, 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 woo. And I could play devil's advocate. Let's say Luce Cannon was oblivious to like thinking he was dry snitching and he was just on a podcast and he was just shooting the shit, right? And if that's the case, I don't know how he made it this far. But let's just roll with it, right? Let's roll with that. That is very, very dangerous because who is to tell what else? I haven't watched all the No Jumper clips, but like, man, if Luce Cannon was that loose with the information, no pun intended, but kind of did that anyway, what else could he have just spat out, right? Adam 22 might get another visit, another visit from them people, right? So because of the stuff Luce is being loose with, this could get very interesting. And I think now he realizes what he's done. I don't know if he realized it himself and came to the conclusion, or if it was the people going upside his head with their adjectives, verbs, and who knows what else. You know what I mean? But now it does sound like he's trying to backtrack and trying to fix it or whatever. Because he is part of that Big U case. So if he makes it bad for Big U, he ultimately makes it bad for himself. So it's kind of sad, but that's the reason why he needs to put in his 2 weeks notice. And I'll say this. Adam 22 is not the bad guy here. A lot of people are like, oh, it's Adam 22's fault. And I know I had the narrative in the beginning that Adam was, breaking up families and stuff like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for your actions. Adam is the owner, right? He runs it. Just like if Luce Cannon was at a McDonald's and Adam owned it, right? They might have a rapport. They might have a relationship. They might even really like each other. But at the end of the day, Adam has to run a business and Luce Cannon works there. Now, whatever happens to Luce Cannon in his personal life, and let's say he's not able to come to the job as the owner of the franchise or whatever, Adam has to do what's best for the business and continue to move forward. That's what Adam is doing in this situation. He's doing what any other business owner would do. and put the franchise first, put the business first. So it's not Adam's fault that Luce Cannon was loose in his life and crashed out and, did some things outside of No Jumper he shouldn't have done. And then on top of that, he brought some of that business to No Jumper. And fortunately for Adam, Adam can capitalize on some of that he brought to No Jumper and, make some money out of whatever the situation may be. So Adam is doing what he do, and Luce Cannon is doing what he do. Man, let's keep it rolling, man. It is what it is.
Getting killed. That's not what it is.
Yeah, I feel like you tried to backpedal a little bit.
No,
on
it's
this.
not back.
Or did we read into it too much when we were having the original conversation?
Yeah, y'all read into it too much. I'm saying that he know. Just like if I'm in the hood or whatever like that, and I'll call my big homie and be like, man, I'm about to go kill this nigga, or whatever like that. He got the heads up, he know. You get what I'm saying? And I go do my thing. That's just how the street shit works. It's nothing different. But me, when I'm saying with Big U, that's supposed to be your little brother, right? That's supposed to be your man. Why you didn't warn him? That's all I'm saying.
But what you said was that he told you that he had already been killed.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But why? So this is the thing that people have such a hard time believing. The idea that Big U would have been told about that and would not have intervened in some way or wanted to have been involved, given that we're literally talking about basically the most high profile people from there.
Who's high profile?
Nip.
Okay, Nipsey.
And Big U, obviously, in his own way.
No, he's not.
He's not high profile. Every single person watching this knows who he is.
Yeah, they know who he is because after Nipsey died.
I mean, he had already done Vlad and shit, right?
Yeah, but people wasn't interested into it. He came up after Nipsey died.
Well, it seems like Luce Cannon is backed into a corner. Adam tried to throw him a couple alley-oops. He dunked one of them, and the rest, he got caught, and it was a turnover. Basically, because Luce Cannon is so loose with his story, now he doesn't realize what he's done, right? So basically, dry snitched on Big U. He's trying to take it back, and there's no way to really do that because you basically gave the insinuation or the story of basically allegedly Big U had to have information that Nipsey was going to die, or Big U is the Oracle, right? So a lot of people have a hard time being like, how the hell do you get a call saying somebody is already gone? You talk to them, they're still alive, and then 30 minutes later they are gone. And it's crazy, the reason you called was to make sure he was still alive, and yet you didn't say anything. So why didn't you save Nip? If I were to hear this information and I called my brother and he was still alive, I'd be like, man, where you at? It'd be like one of them the movies, Taken, don't go nowhere. Go to the nearest bookstore. Stay right there. I'm on my way. But that was not the narrative. So that's why people are a little perplexed, loose. So I don't know. Maybe it's lacking a couple neutrons, electrons, protons, realtrons, voltrons, loose in 5. Or loose doing 5. I don't know. All right, man. We're going to leave it there. This is too much to handle. And I actually got a crossover and a jumper, and I'm a mid-range killer. So I can't do no jumper for too long, might lose my gang. All right, man. You know what it is. On every episode, we leave with tell the people that love you, you love them. And I love you too. Till next time, when you're living with the X.
I love you.